Hi everyone, this is Amber for your Tuesdays. Glenn, turn that off, it made noise.
Sorry.
So before we start, I just want to introduce you to one of the ferrets. This is Zasha. She's not pleased. She said, "Nyeh, nyeh, get me away. Stop it." So yes, that's one of our lovely pets. You can have her. So this week's theme is testosterone. So, first of all, types of testosterone. You can, I know that you can get injections, patches, some kind of hand cream. You're not supposed to take them in pill form. I hear that's bad. There's lots of different ways to take it, but the cheapest is injections. Glenn was on patches for a little while because he'll run screaming like a little girl from a needle. Patches proved to be about $100 more than injections, and more than that, really?
They were $250 for 30 days.
Oh, okay, they were $250 for 30 days, so about $250 a month. And how much is it now?
It's $80 for about 6 months.
Okay, so now it's about $80 for 6 months with injections, just a little bottle of testosterone. That's better. And he still goes to a nurse to do it because he doesn't mind dropping his pants for the pretty nurse. But the patches left giant, polka dots on his arms and his legs, and he was dinosaur Glenn for a little while. So he's kind of started using injections. I started taking tea in October. And one of the things I wanted to talk about, which, I'm sure will be covered a lot by the other girls on the channel, is before and after the tea, what has changed. Well, obviously, the biggest thing is libido goes insane, crazy, and it's a lot more often than it was before. Food, too. He's hungry all of the time. It's like he must always feed. The beast never stops eating. It's just like his entire brain is composed of sex and food. What was it that Gabriel said, Glenn? No, come here, tell them what he said. We have this trans friend that said something,
Along the lines of, if you put a steak and a naked woman in front of me, I don't know which to attack first.
You can go back. So what else? He has gotten hairier, and I remember when he first started taking tea, I'm like, when are you gonna grow a beard? When are you gonna grow a beard? And 4 weeks in, I'm like, you still don't have a beard. Just know that the time for this kind of stuff to kick in is different for everyone, and he's been on it since October, and he's still only got kind of a little bit of a mustache, but I enjoy it greatly. So it takes a long time. Don't expect any, changes overnight. Can they see your mustache?
Probably not.
Probably not?
It's
Okay.
blonde.
I bet it would show up, but I was asking if you wanted to. Okay. Another thing is to maybe expect is there's a bit of weight gain and there's a lot of acne, which is unpleasant, but hey, it's puberty. What do you expect? Bless you. There's also some muscle gain, just out of nowhere, even if they sit on their ass all the time. Sometimes there's some muscle tonage that happens. Got big Russian legs now. Also, over a long period of time, I don't know if a whole lot of you know this, but the shape of his face will change. Glenn's face used to be like this, and now it's a little bit more like this. Since he started the testosterone, it's gotten a lot broader and it's more masculine. And the furry applies everywhere. It's super furry everywhere. Chest, legs, face, everything. Also, one of the side effects is the clitoris, I guess, will kind of get huge, and it can grow up to, is it like 1.5 inches?
Size of your thumb.
Size of your thumb, apparently. And a lot of medical stuff I read says that that's non-functional and you can't use it. And I say that's a load of bull hockey, and they don't actually know what they're talking about, because you can use it, and it is big enough, and it is functional, and it does look like a little penis. So that's really great, and for a lot of trans men, that's a real big source of comfort, you know, especially if they're not sure about getting any kind of surgery or anything. It's, you know, it's a little bit more comfortable, because they have their own little penis. And last time I did want to talk about size doesn't matter. That's why size doesn't matter. Bitches. So what else is there? I also wanted to talk about people who choose not to go through HRT, which is, you know, hormone reassignment therapy. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Apparently there are some health risks involved. I don't know what they are. I've never heard of any really major problems, except you probably want...
Cancer risk.
Except for cancer risk, you probably want to get like a hysterectomy or no oophorectomy within about 5 years, if you're taking testosterone, because apparently that increases your risk of, is it ovarian cancer?
Ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, cervical cancer.
Ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, and cervical cancer. But that's just a precautionary measure, and that doesn't really mean that you're going to get that. I haven't heard of a whole lot of problems, and if you are taking testosterone, you should get blood work done. Do you get them every 6 months?
I get mine every 3 months, but it's 3 to 6 months.
He gets his every 3 months, but you should get your blood work done on a regular basis, especially in the beginning. When you first start, they will have you on longer increments, like 3 weeks between shots, and then it'll move to 2 weeks, just to make sure that everything is good. But what I was saying was, people who choose not to go through HRT, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think there's, you know, different ways to be masculine, and some people pass just fine with testosterone, but you know, for a lot of trans men, it is a big comfort, and they do feel more at home with their bodies if, you know, they can go through the correct puberty, and, you know, just kind of, you know, it helps to pass more as a man too, just because of all the changes and everything. They will be cranky sometimes. Crankiness happens, especially like about 2 or 3 days after their shot. I hear that, I hear from other people about this too, that, you know, 2 or 3 days after the shot, it's like, you know? So, crankiness happens. What else is there? But if your partner chooses not to go through HRT, there's nothing wrong with that. Just some people just don't. I can't think of a whole lot else. I don't know a whole lot about trans-friendly resources in the Dallas area, and I don't know if anyone watching is from the Dallas area. Who do you go to, Glenn?
Oh, there's a list. Usually, if you have a therapist who works with trans people, then they usually have a list.
Apparently, usually your therapist, if they work with trans people, will have a list of trans-friendly resources in your area.
There's also, if you have a gay-friendly...
Well, why don't you... I can't, like, repeat what you're saying.
If there's a GLBT newspaper in your area, there tends to be a much smaller GLBT Yellow Pages that deals with mostly gay and lesbian resources, but also they have doctors who work with transgendered patients for hormones, for surgeries, for things like that, and legal lawyers who do trans legal paperwork are also usually listed in that.
Yay! So, I've probably been rambling for too long now, so I guess we'll see you next time, or I'll see you next time. I don't know if you'll show up. So bye!